Hey now! This is just an update to yesterday's video. You can see I got this apart. See the inner workings a little better. So these are the gears. They look like they're really nice gears. This is the drive gear right here. And these are the roller gears. Now they're out of place, so they're not sitting where they should. It looks like he's got a 2-to-1 ratio, which I think is fine. I'd probably like to see a little more than that, but it's not bad. Plus you add the handle, you got a lot more. And then here's the arm. So if you look right there, that's the fulcrum, and then the length of the arm to here is the lever, and then you see where the placement of this is close to the fulcrum. Now, the farther you bring this out, the more difficult it is to clamp down on what you're doing. So he did the right thing by putting this right where it's at. That's where you want it. So you're gonna really be able to put a lot of clamping pressure on the material that you're rolling. So this right here is where the genius of this whole thing is at. These are, again, you can see the palm bushings, and they seem to be in a lot better condition than that one there. And I deburred, and there was a lot of things that he just didn't deburr, like these holes down here and whatnot. Stuff on this side wasn't deburred. You know, I'm really at a loss. I think initially he might have been, gung-ho about this and came up with something good. But I get the feeling that kind of like the pothead syndrome, it's like you just don't want to do it anymore, and you just do what you have to get by because you need the money, and that's kind of the way I'm feeling about it. There's just a lot of stuff that he could be doing, and if this is CNC, I don't understand why he's not letting the CNC machine do the deburring, because that's what they do. I mean, I just don't know, but who knows. In any case, I went ahead and chamfered all the holes that are available on both sides. You can see I put a chamfer in there, and I hand filed everything around here, down here. So got all that nice and clean, and I'm going to work on these shafts. I'm going to look them over to make sure the shafts are nice and smooth and clean the way I want them. Again, here we go with the just straight cut tubing, not even chamfered, not deburred, nothing. I mean, I'm just thinking this is kind of lazy, And same thing on this here. You can kind of see. Look at that. It's just not good. So I don't know. It's a good machine. I'm not doubting its quality. I just think that I think there's something up with the person doing this, and he ought to be careful, because you never know. Somebody might be looking at his slacking off and decide, I'm going to make my own here and put it up on eBay and do some competition, and doesn't have to buy it from England, and it's all deburred and taken care of. Why would somebody want to buy from him? I think he should really be thinking about that, and whatever is going on with him, I think he needs to step up and start putting some pride into his work, because it's really disappointing to see the level of unfinished. Look at that. Look at that hole. That is just not cool, Because you got such good workmanship everywhere else, and then you got crap like that. Just wanted to show you his little thing here. I'm gonna redo this. I don't know if I'm gonna work on this side or just wipe that off completely and re-laser it with some proper numbers and stuff, and probably put my name on there, since I'm helping to manufacture this, since he didn't finish it. So you can see some of the unfinished work here, raised burrs. It's just not acceptable at all. See, look at that swarf right there. That's just, and here you can see the burr from the edge. So, yep, we'll get this all cleaned up. Sticker coming off. He's lost the right to have that on that tool. I don't know, man. Should I consider this a third ripoff or the fourth ripoff in a row on eBay? Because I got 3 prior to this. This could be considered the fourth, considering that I have to go through this. I think that I shouldn't have to be going through this at all. And I think that buying from another country is just a mistake. I don't know. The guy has lost his way. I can tell he just doesn't care, because that's exactly what this is. So this shaft is bent. It's not bent much. Every time I try to straighten it, it just bends another way. And I think I'm really reconsidering my review. I mean, I think we have the possibility of a good tool here, but we got a guy who's getting really lazy and uncaring about what he's doing. Look at the finish on that rod. And this is after sanding. I've actually sanded on this. But I really am rethinking my review. I mean, if you understand what you're getting into, you know, I think the potential for a good machine is here. But I think the guy is just getting lazy. You know, we've got a kitchen nightmare case on our hand here, where someone starts out really good and then they're just barely doing what they need to get by, and they just don't care anymore. I don't know what his issue is. He still hasn't responded to my email about the specs on these, but it doesn't matter. I already know this is 12 millimeter. That's 12 millimeter. I think this is 15. I don't need the specs on this. I just have to measure the shafts. I'll go ahead and contact people that sell these and see if I can get replacements. Not that these need to be replaced. I'm just thinking down the road, eventually they're going to need to be replaced, and I want to be ready for when they do need to be replaced. He's going to be darn lucky if I don't decide down the road to start making these myself, because I have half a mind to do just that. Alright, so we see here we got a bend in the drive shaft, and you can see this is all straight right to here, and then 30 thousandths bend. So I have an idea why that's like that. And that's because he didn't take the time to package this properly. You can see the drive shaft was hitting that side and it was hitting that side. Alright, so I got all this cleaned up. So I wanted to turn my attention to those scratches, and this here goes in like that, so we can already see it's clearly this piece. And if we look, you can see we got goobers there. None of this has been chamfered like it should have been. And I think I already said this, I can't even get this out. And of course they use the palm bushings in there. I mean, once those wear out, I'll never get this apart. So this whole part will have to be completely remade, or just make a whole new ring roller myself, which is likely what I'm going to do by the time this happens. If I get 2 years out of this, I'll be happy. So I'm just going to go ahead and chamfer this and get the goobers off. There's welding goobers in various spots. There's a welding goober. So I'll just get all that chamfered, cleaned up. But looks like once again we left the plastic on the washer. Got this all filed down, deburred, chamfered, all kinds of stuff stuck on here, and had to scrape it and wire brush it and pretty much ruin the black finish on it. I don't know. I'm just really disappointed. I think it's time to send eBay a letter about the amount of people on eBay that are scamming people. And this is supposed to be a brand new machine. I'm supposed to get something in new condition, and this is not in new condition at all. I think my days on eBay has come to an end with this. I think I have to change my stand at this point. I mean, if you know what you're getting into here, then go ahead and buy one from this guy. But I think a message needs to be sent, and I think people need to stop buying from him. And I think eBay needs to kick him off. There's clearly something gone wrong here where he's just given up. I don't know what kind of person he is. He won't answer his messages. I don't know. I think he's lost his fire. Who knows what his problems are, and I don't care if he has problems and it's causing this, then maybe he just needs to stop selling on eBay, because it's not right to make people like me pay the price for this. And I paid, after the tariffs were all said and done, it was just a little over $500. That's dishonest. It's not right. And I have a feeling, if I leave him negative feedback, he's going to bounce back with something to spin it around and make it my fault. And not the least of which, I think at the least he owes me an apology, which I know I'm not going to get. I think he owes me some money, which I know I'm never going to get. He's a dishonest person. If you're wondering what the heck's going on with all these little divots, originally I was thinking of installing these Zerks, because with this installed, the grease behind here, as this goes back and forth, it's just going to wipe the grease away. So I put those divots to hold on to the grease, much like the reason for, I can't get it out, for the divots inside of there. So it'll hold on to the grease, so as this moves, it'll just keep it, lubricated. The reason I decided against the Zerk is because on this side, it would have been fine on this side. What I was going to do was drill and tap and have this Zerk come into here, and then I was going to machine a channel so that the grease would just flow along the channel and keep this, lubricated. But on this side, to put a Zerk in here would be a problem, because this is where the bending rollers are here, and as the metal bends, it's just going to run into the Zerk. So that option was out. So I thunk a little bit, and this is what I came up with. I can just apply the grease by hand as needed, and it should be fine, I hope. So anyway, yep, it's just about ready to go back together now. So I got the palm bushings cleaned out, and every one of them are damaged because the guy just doesn't give a crap. I think this one's in the best condition, but all the other ones, some of them are heavily scored. It's kind of hard to see where because of the angles, but they're damaged, already meeting the bronze on some of them. This guy just doesn't care at all. He's just slapping stuff together, and who gives a crap. And then I still got to work on that plate, and you can see it needs chamfering as well. And I still got this to fix. It's like, I'll show you just how wonky that bolt pattern is. Just ridiculous. Had to unburr all of that, or deburr, and chamfer all the holes and all that. And it is turning a lot easier than it was before. So you can see my grease pockets there. Make sure that stays greased up. So all that's left now is to refinish this plate, wipe that scumbag's name off of it, and put my name on it. Well, I redid the scale, and as you can see, it's way better, a lot more readable. Didn't have enough room to stick a name on there. However, the glare on that isn't really good. It's a lot easier to see with the eye, but yeah,